What if the real reason you never truly feel rich has absolutely nothing at all to do with your money? Somewhere quietly in Japan, many ordinary families are living far better on much less money than you actually earn today. They are not extreme savers or strict misers. They are simply thinking about money in a completely different way instead. While most people keep chasing after a bigger income, these quiet households are quietly mastering something far more powerful instead. They are quietly mastering the simple art of using what they already have with complete intention and total clarity instead. And by the time this video ends, you will finally understand why more money rarely solves your real stress today. You will also learn the one hidden habit that slowly, quietly drains bank accounts without anyone ever even noticing it. Stick around until the very end because secret number 7 will completely change how you look at every purchase forever. This is not another lecture about cutting your coffee or living inside endless, painful, joyless financial restriction and constant guilt. This is about 7 small shifts that make your money feel truly calmer, lighter, and far more powerful right now. Most of us were quietly taught to earn money first and figure out saving with whatever happens to still remain. Rent disappears quickly, bills disappear, food disappears, and suddenly there is nothing left over at all to ever protect anymore. The truth is truly brutal. When saving depends only on leftovers, there are almost never any real leftovers waiting around. Every single dollar sitting in your account quietly advertises itself to 100 different needs and sudden temptations every day. Japanese households quietly flip this entire order around, and that one simple flip truly changes everything about how money behaves. They decide exactly what their money must protect long before they ever decide what that money is allowed to buy. The instant income finally arrives, a small portion is pulled aside immediately and treated as already spent and completely gone. It is not spare money waiting patiently for a weekend sale or one single quiet moment of weakness to appear. It already has a real job, a purpose, a future it is quietly working toward in complete and total silence. This habit does not require the discipline of steel. It only requires one simple, automatic decision made really very early. Start absurdly small, just 1%, 3%, or one fixed number moved the very exact day you get paid. Do not wait until Saturday arrives. Do not wait until you feel calm enough to finally make that small move. Waiting quietly gives your money enough time to slowly disappear into 100 small purchases you will barely even remember. Picture 2 people earning the exact same income every single month, without any real difference between their lives at all. One person hopes something will be left over once every bill and desire has already been quite fully satisfied first. The other person always quietly protects a piece of every paycheck before a single bill even gets its turn today. After 12 full months, one person has already quietly built a cushion, while the other has only built 12 excuses. Give that protected money an actual, real, simple reason to exist, instead of a vague, forgettable label like ordinary savings. Call it freedom. Call it peace. Call it the fund that finally lets you breathe again without any constant worry. A simple name turns saving from something painful into something that truly, quietly protects your future self every single day. Now imagine opening your banking app and feeling absolutely, completely nothing at all about the numbers scrolling past your eyes. Digital spending feels weightless, transactions blur together quickly, and your money starts to feel quite strangely unreal and distant somehow. The Japanese solution is quite beautifully old-fashioned, a simple notebook that forces a real pause before spending even happens. Every single month, you write your income, then list every fixed cost that refuses to move or bend at all. Housing, insurance, transport, and subscriptions, all written carefully and honestly before a single flexible dollar even gets touched or spent. Whatever small amount remains gets divided into categories that actually truly mean something to the real life you are living. Not vague labels, but real ones like enjoyment, learning, connection, and the inevitable unexpected surprise expense that always suddenly appears. Once every week, sit quietly with that notebook and review your choices without ever turning it into harsh self-punishment. This is not a courtroom built to make you feel guilty about every single little coffee you ever enjoyed drinking. Ask which purchase truly, genuinely made your entire week better, and which one disappeared from memory almost completely instantly today. You might discover that one single dinner with a close friend outweighed 5 rushed meals eaten completely alone in silence. You might discover you were not really overspending on joy, you were actually overspending on forgettable, mindless daily convenience instead. That single, quiet realization can redirect hundreds of dollars every single month toward the things that truly even matter most. Buy a small notebook today and place it somewhere you will actually see it clearly every single morning without fail. 15 honest, quiet minutes a week can reveal far more than an entire year of ignoring your banking app completely. Modern shopping today is engineered carefully to erase the space between wanting something and actually buying it, almost very instantly. One-click checkout, countdown timers, and saved cards all quietly whisper the exact same very urgent message: decide right now. But almost every single regretted purchase was not truly a totally stupid decision, it was simply a rushed one instead. The fix is deceptively simple. Place some little real time between the spark of desire and the final payment itself. Small purchases earn a full, honest, single day of waiting before any money is ever allowed to leave your hands. Bigger purchases earn a full week, uninterrupted by obsessive research or endless late-night comparison scrolling on your own phone. During that waiting window, step away completely and let the emotional intensity of the moment quietly fade away quite naturally. You were never only evaluating an object, you were also evaluating a particular story attached very tightly to that object. This jacket will make me confident. This gadget will finally make me productive. This course will completely transform my life. Sometimes that story is actually true, but most of the time it simply fades once the initial excitement fully cools. When the waiting period finally ends, ask yourself if the desire still burns with the exact same original intensity. Ask precisely where this item will genuinely fit into the actual real life you are currently living, right here now. Then ask the hardest question of all. What am I truly willing to give up in order to buy this? Every single purchase has an invisible twin, the thing your money could have very quietly become instead of this one. A brand new gadget might truly quietly cost you an entire weekend trip you would have remembered fondly for years. When you finally see that trade clearly, the purchase stops being automatic and truly becomes a real, conscious choice instead. Sometimes the desire vanishes completely after just a single day, and that is quite honestly never actually a real loss. You simply kept your money without giving up anything that truly mattered to your genuine happiness at all, even, really. There is a quiet Japanese word for the deep regret felt when something valuable is wasted or completely ignored somehow. It applies fully to money, to food, to time, and to objects still full of real, unused, hidden, true value. So much unnecessary spending begins long before the things we already own have even finished serving their very original purpose. A bottle still holds product. A shirt is still perfectly wearable. A phone still works perfectly well today, even regardless. Yet something newer always seems to whisper a little louder, promising something quite slightly better just out of easy reach. Before buying more groceries, look honestly at what is already sitting quietly inside your very own refrigerator right now today. Build a simple meal or two around whatever is closest to spoiling before it gets quite completely forgotten and wasted. Before buying any new skincare, finish the bottle that is already half used sitting quietly on your own bathroom shelf. Before replacing old furniture, ask if cleaning, repairing, or simply rearranging could always give it a genuine second life instead. This is not really about living with less, it is about experiencing the full value of what you already own. Think about a notebook bought with real excitement, filled for just 3 pages, then abandoned within a single short week. The joy came entirely from buying the idea of becoming organized, not from quite actually using the notebook itself daily. Using one single notebook completely until its final page proves something no purchase alone could ever really truly prove instead. Choose just one category this month, like food, clothing, or subscriptions, and finish fully what you already own completely first. You will slowly discover your own home is quietly hiding real money inside forgotten, unused, and duplicate items everywhere somehow. Willpower alone rarely wins against a phone loaded with shopping apps and saved payment information sitting quite patiently everywhere, waiting. Your surrounding environment is quietly making financial decisions long before your own discipline ever truly gets the chance to speak. Japanese spaces are famous for their simplicity, and that same idea applies beautifully to your everyday, daily own personal finances. Make saving feel effortless and make unnecessary spending require just enough friction to make you truly always pause and think. Delete the shopping apps you open without even thinking, especially late at night when your guard is at its lowest. Log out of every saved card so buying something requires a few little extra seconds of real conscious thought first. Unsubscribe completely from promotional emails that manufacture desires you never actually had 5 minutes earlier in your very own day. That tiny bit of friction is often quite more than enough to let a weak impulse quietly pass on by. Adjust your physical space, too. Keep reusable bags right by the door so you never re-buy new ones ever again. Carry water with you so a moment of thirst never becomes a somewhat unnecessary $5 convenience purchase downtown somewhere. Keep a written list before shopping and never wander a store the way you quite casually scroll social media apps. Make your progress feel visible, too. Clearly mark every single deposit into savings inside that very same money notebook, always. Watching that number slowly grow can quite surprisingly compete directly with the fleeting thrill of an impulsive online purchase instead. The goal was never just quite to become some hero who defeats every single temptation through sheer raw willpower alone. The goal is simply designing a calmer life where far fewer temptations even get the chance to appear at all. Living better does not simply mean becoming obsessively cheap or refusing every single small comfort in your own entire life. Extreme frugality quietly becomes its own kind of stress, delaying repairs and refusing meaningful experiences quite constantly and needlessly, too. That is not real financial peace. That is quite simply financial fear, wearing the quiet disguise of discipline and control. A wiser approach spends much more generously on the things you touch, use, or rely on every single ordinary day. Your mattress, your shoes, your daily bag, the tools that quietly carry you through a quite ordinary busy Tuesday morning. A well-chosen item often costs more money up front, but quietly saves you far more through years of steady use. The real question is never truly whether something looks impressive to people who barely even notice it anyway at all. The real, actual question is truly whether it will even genuinely improve your everyday experience for many years to come. People often spend money to build an image that strangers will briefly admire for just a very few passing seconds. Meanwhile, they quietly tolerate real discomfort at home, bad sleep, and daily friction that nobody else ever quite truly sees. They buy decorative kitchen items while ordering expensive takeout because cooking still feels genuinely very stressful and quite difficult somehow. Before any significant purchase, calculate its true, honest cost across every single time you always actually expect to use it. Shoes worn 300 times for $150 quietly cost far even less than most cheaper alternatives instead. A cheaper pair worn only 5 times was, in honest practice, quite actually the far more expensive decision all along. Use this simple test honestly. Do not stretch even some imaginary future use just to justify an unnecessary purchase today. Ask if it truly solves a real recurring problem or simply always promises to solve one somewhere down the road. This is the secret that finally explains why closets and homes stay full while satisfaction stays quite completely empty instead. People rarely ever buy objects alone. They are quietly buying a version of themselves they truly even long to become. Expensive equipment gets bought to feel healthy, stacks of books get bought to feel knowledgeable and quite genuinely wise instead. For one brief moment, the purchase feels like quite real, honest progress toward becoming that better imagined version almost instantly. But objects demand quite real practice, patience, and consistency that no single purchase can ever truly hand you instantly today. The identity stays quite completely unbuilt, the excitement fades, and another purchase eventually promises that exact same transformation once again. A much wiser idea says real change always comes through small, steady, repeated action rather than through a single purchase. Do not buy 10 whole books to feel like a reader. Finish the one already sitting on your own shelf. Do not buy an entire gym setup to feel healthy. Simply walk for 20 minutes daily for 2 full weeks. Do not redesign your entire office to feel productive. Always finish one focused hour with the tools you already own. Action builds real identity far more reliably than any purchase ever even truly could, no matter how expensive it feels. Before buying anything tied to self-improvement, give yourself a real, honest proof period of at very least 1 month. Use exactly what you already have for 30 full days and genuinely demonstrate the habit before upgrading anything at all. If you still want that camera after 30 honest days of steady practice, you are truly investing, not simply fantasizing. Now you are quietly supporting a real, proven habit instead of purchasing the fantasy of quite some future imagined self. This single shift protects both your money and something even so far more valuable, your own quiet inner confidence today. Every unused self-improvement purchase silently whispers that you quite failed again at truly, really becoming who you always wanted. Every small habit completed, instead, quietly whispers that real change is truly already quite happening steadily inside your own life. You do not always need to fully own an entire imagined life before you are finally allowed to live it. Let us bring every single one of these 7 quiet secrets together into one very simple, unified way of living. Always protect a small piece of your income before the month even gets the very chance to demand it first. Always use a simple, honest notebook to finally see where your money really goes and what it truly gives you. Always build a short, real pause between every desire and every purchase, so urgency stops controlling your own daily decisions. Always respect the full value already sitting quietly inside the things you truly own before buying anything brand new again. Always design your surroundings so saving feels effortless and impulsive spending finally requires true, real, deliberate conscious effort every time. Always spend generously on quality and daily comfort, and truly stop paying extra just for how something merely looks instead. Stop purchasing the image of who you truly want to become, and always start building that person through daily action. None of these 7 habits will make you rich by tomorrow morning, and that is exactly the very entire point. Dramatic promises always create dramatic bursts of motivation that quietly disappear within just a quite handful of exhausted, tired days. Small habits survive because they simply do not need perfect motivation. They only need quiet, truly boring daily repetition instead. One protected deposit always slowly becomes a safety net. One honest review truly becomes real, lasting financial awareness over time. One delayed purchase quietly becomes money still sitting safely and securely inside your own steadily growing bank account, even today. One repaired object delays a costly replacement. One prepared meal replaces an expensive, forgettable takeout order quite completely and entirely. The real, true result is not simply a bigger number sitting quietly inside your personal bank account balance quite somehow. It is truly a calmer relationship with money, one built firmly on clarity instead of much constant, quiet daily anxiety. You stop feeling quite shocked by your own spending and instead start feeling genuinely, truly proud of your own choices. You stop confusing a quite temporary thrill with genuine, lasting improvement in the actual real quality of your own life. Tonight, do not always try to fix everything at once. That exact approach quietly fails almost every quite single time. Always choose only one habit your life truly needs most and commit to starting it before you very sleep tonight. Always move one small transfer, open one honest notebook page, or simply wait 20 quite 4 hours before buying anything. Small decisions feel quite invisible while you're making them and become truly powerful only once they finally repeat. A single drop of water looks quite harmless until it quietly carves its own path through very solid ancient stone. Your financial life always gets shaped in exactly the same very quiet way. One small decision at a time, repeated. Not one single perfect choice, but hundreds of small, honest ones, quite truly made when absolutely nobody else is watching. Which one of these 7 quiet secrets does your life actually truly need to hear the very most right today?